All right, guys, check it out. I got Larry back in the chair and I talked him into doing something a little crazy today. So I'm gonna do this kind of design fade. I'm gonna show you guys how to do it. Hope you guys learned something. Let's hop right into it. All right, guys, so I cut the side down to a 1.5. I took a 2 up into the top, cut it to a 1.5, and now we're gonna start off by making some design lines. So I'm looking at the bottom of his C-cup, or the bottom of his vertical bar, I mean. We're gonna start it right there. We're just gonna follow this natural head shape. So I'm gonna go here, and I want a skinny line. You guys will see what we're gonna do after I start to fade it. And I just want to put the line in skinny. After it's done, we can come in and blow it up a little bit if we want to. And like I said, this is kind of a creative cut. I don't do much design work anymore, but Larry's been saying lately, like, man, if you want to try something, let me know. So here we are. I'm just going to punch this in, make sure the top is real clean. Not too thick. All right, so there's the one. Now I'm gonna come up just a little bit above it, and we're gonna split basically this section in half. So I'm gonna come right through it, following the same exact shape. Very important that these lines are clean and that they follow the same shape. So if they get a little off, it's gonna look a little wonky. So you guys just take your time, punch it in little by little. I do want it to get skinnier at the back. And again, we can clean these up after, but we can't add hair if we make them too thick. All right, so now we have a third line. We're gonna basically, we wanna see how big this gap is. Come up here and punch in our third line. So we want the same shape. We want it to follow the same shape. Get skinnier, kind of equally skinnier at the back, just like that line. And then you guys will see once we start to fade this, what we're gonna do. It's gonna look super cool. So you guys see I'm cutting through a bunch of hair. I'll show you a technique in a second to clean that up. If your trimmers just won't do it, you got some hair overhanging. His hair grows pretty much straight out, so it's not really so much overhanging as it is sticking out, and I can't really catch it with the trimmers. So I'll show you guys a technique to clean that up. So you can see we basically have our 3 lines put in. Now we can start to work on the fade portion. So down here, I want this line to still be visible. So what I'm gonna do is come in with the clipper closed. I want that stubble underneath it. And you guys will see why when we get to the end. I basically want to still be able to see that line. I don't want it to be totally gone. So right under it, I'm using the clipper closed, and then I'll come in with my trimmer and shaver underneath that to make sure that the bottom is faded all the way out, but I don't want it to go too far. I want to still have the line up here that I can see, and you guys will see, we'll probably razor that here in a minute. Now we'll come in underneath that with the trimmer. Now at the very bottom, we can come in with the shaver, get it all the way down the skin, and then we'll start working on these top 2 panels. All right, guys, so before I get into fading all this out, I'm gonna cut this all down to an open 1 and get it consistent. And then we're gonna come in and do some fades. You guys will see it's gonna look super sick when we get done. At the top of this, I'm gonna kind of flick out. I wanna leave it a little bit dark since there is so much hair above it. But we're basically just gonna use an open one to cut it down. And we'll start this fade. You guys are gonna love this. And just because this hair right here is a little bit long, I'm just gonna basically flick out with my 2 and just soften it up. Now that we cut that down with the 1, it is a little bit heavy right here, so. Now you can see we're good to go. We can start fading. Now just to frame this, I'm gonna go ahead and hit the vertical bar because I wanna have a nice sharp line that I can see. We'll go ahead and work it all the way down. All right, so basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna fade the middle of this out, and we're gonna fade the front and back of this out. So I'm gonna come in with a closed clipper, very precise, and I'm gonna bald this out right here with the closed clipper. So you can see we got it bald. Now we're just gonna fade our way out to each side. So just like a normal fade, I'm gonna go about half a clipper length. I'm gonna go open right here. And right here. It's no different than fading the side of the head. It's gonna be a little more precise. Now we have closed in the middle, open here. We'll go work our way over, second notch, corner of the blade, third notch, corner of the blade. And our transition is going sideways. It's no different than a normal fade. It's just working sideways instead of up and down. You can see really that's already got it. I'm gonna go fourth notch all the way over here. Now same thing here. We did it with it closed. Second notch. Go to the third notch. Fourth notch. And just fine tune a little bit with our lever. Now I'm gonna take the trimmer right here in the middle, just a little bit, just to make it pop. And honestly guys, once the parts are shaved in, we can come back with our shaver if we want, just to accentuate this fade even more. But you can see we're faded out to the hard line at the open clipper. So the next thing we're gonna do, we know this is an open one already. This is an open one. We're gonna just work on this line. So we're gonna come over about half the clipper width with the one closed, and we're gonna start to soften it. Again, guys, it's just like a regular fade. So we know that the one closed is not gonna get this line out, but we wanna tie into what's in front. Half open right here. And closed back here near the line. We know that the half guard is what is gonna take that line out. Same thing back here. I'm just gonna start half open and go a little further. And we're gonna close it up. Again, I know that it's not gonna get it. I'm gonna have to come in with the half guard, but you can see we got it kind of worked out. Now we use the half guard just right here just to clean up anything that's left. And this top section will be done for now. We will come in and detail it here in a minute, but for now we just wanna get it kind of working. We'll work on that bottom panel. I'm gonna show you guys what I'm gonna do to the rest of the cut to tie it in together. And then we can detail this and razor our parts in and all that to make it, really look sharp at the end. All right, so on the picture that I have, this bottom line is actually all the way bald faded, but I wanna leave this vertical bar, so I'm just gonna do the clipper open at the front of this section. And we're gonna basically do the opposite here. We're gonna fade open to dark in the middle and then fade it out in the back half. So no different, we're just gonna flip our direction. We're gonna do open at the front. We know this is an open one, so now I'm gonna come here with a closed one and start to tie into the open one. You see it's working its way together. Now we just need the half guard, halfway open on this line right here to tie it together. And you can see it fades from light to dark. Now we'll go to the back, and back here we're gonna fade it all the way out. So I'm gonna start closed right here. Then we'll go open for a small section. Obviously from here to the bald, we need to go half open and work that line out. Second notch, until you're happy with it. And this is my point, guys. When I teach my classes, I teach that every fade is always gonna be the same fade steps. It doesn't matter what direction, which way it's growing, any of that. I just have to do the same clipper steps no matter what. So now I'm gonna just make sure this is all an open one. Now we'll close it and start to work this line out. And again, guys, we know the half guard is gonna get that last spot out when we get there. and we left the darkest in the middle. Half guard, half open. And this hair's kind of growing that way, so I'm coming against it. I want to make sure I'm cutting against it. That's pretty much it. So before we detail that a lot, I'm gonna come in with my razor and shave these lines in. We're gonna bald fade the other side to make it connect, and then we'll detail this and you guys can check out the end result. All right guys, we're gonna come in with the triple cartridge razor. And we're just gonna shave that line down. I did apply some Tomb45 shave gel. You guys see me dry shave sometimes. If I'm cleaning up a line that's already there, I will dry shave, but Larry here has some pretty tough, dark stubble and I don't wanna tear him up. So I'm gonna come in with the shave gel. And the line is already there. You heard me just say, if the line's already there, I don't always, but because this design needs to be sharper, I'm coming up here where all this stubble is. I don't wanna beat up on him, right? So I'm just gonna use my shave gel, stretch the skin, kind of pull that longer hair up out of the way. And you guys see we're making that line nice and sharp. Work my way to the front. We got a little bit more back here in the back. Shave gel making him slick. Make sure you get a good grip. That tension on his head is going to help the razor glide, especially in these small, tight areas. You have a little trouble if you don't have the hair, the scalp stretched snug. So there's our top line. Now we'll come through here. This one will be a little bit easier because we don't have as much hair to deal with on top of the line or under the line. Same thing. I'll work my way from front to back. And this is just like putting a line in with your trimmer. You don't want to go too heavy because it can get thick on you real quick. And you can always thicken it up if you feel like it needs it once you get it done. All right guys, so you can see in the back where it kind of ends. We're just gonna we can decide what we want to do, but I'm gonna take the top one just through the fade until it disappears. We're gonna follow it with this. Just kind of let it connect to each other. And the bottom one is basically gonna disappear too, but it's already down here in the bald fade part, so. And you guys can just decide when you do something like this. It's obviously unique, you can do it how you want it. All right, so just for a little pop, we're gonna add a little bit of Tomb45 mocha fibers to the dark areas. And we're gonna come in with the trimmer one last time just to make it pop, and we'll be done with the cut. And fibers just really accentuate what you're doing. So you see, once we add that fibers, we're gonna get just a laser sharp line. You guys saw the design was there before. So, you know, we're not faking anything, but we're just giving it an assist, right? You know, enhancements. We're enhancing the haircut from what it already was, making it look a little bit sharper, just making it pop. So one thing I learned a while back is, you know, if you do designs in super long hair, to get it to be sharp, then it grows out worse, and the hair's too long, and it grows out kind of sloppy. And so I think it was actually Los Cut It that teaches to do designs in like a 1 guard. Because if you do a design in something longer, it's gonna look really bad really quick. And so basically all of this is like a 1.5, almost basically a 1. Most of it is. So we're gonna get nice clean lines, sharp lines. It's gonna grow out a little bit better than if we were starting with like a number 2 for the design. All right, guys, that is it for the cut. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Just a little freestyle kind of faded double part design, similar to what he usually gets, but we just added that second line, faded up in there. Slight enhancements, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave me a comment down below and let me know what you think. If you guys did not see my best beard fade ever on YouTube that I did on Larry, make sure you guys click right there and check it out.